is our Monday night training. It is a you versus you battle. And what a you versus you battle means is it's the battle between your ears. It's every single day we have a choice. It's the 6 inches between our ears to show up, to perform or not to perform, to show up with our adversity, to embrace it, to realize that there's a bigger purpose, whatever that looks like, right? So our first slide here is choosing to succeed. My question to you tonight is, are you choosing to succeed? Now, I know that sounds, oh yeah, sure, Todd, I'm choosing to succeed. I'm on the Zoom right now. Well, let me ask you this question. While you're on the Zoom, just kind of an accountability check. Are you focused right now, or are you looking at other things? Are you are you on your social media looking at this? Is this kind of like a checklist? Okay, I made the Zoom. That's okay. It's like going to church, but being on your phone the whole time. Like you're not getting much out of it, right? So when I say choosing to succeed, whether it's this opportunity that we have with this amazing program or these programs, what does that look like for you? Like, have you really made the decision to be like, I'm choosing absolutely unequivocally to succeed here. I'm choosing to absolutely crush it. I'm choosing that no matter what the circumstances I'm facing, I want to win here, but I'm not just choosing a short-term victory or a short-term opportunity. I'm in it for the long haul. So I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page there, because it is a choice, right? Success is a choice. So let me ask you this. How many times have you heard success is a choice, but if we don't know what to do, how can we choose? Okay. So here's the deal. Achievement. Okay. The definition, or what achievement really is. So achievement is simply the result of doing the right things consistently over a sustained period of time. Doing right things is a direct result of your personal choice. Your future is built on the choices you make day by day, moment by moment. Now, this is a hard concept for a lot of people to understand. Back years ago, I had a great mentor. His name is Jeff Olson. He wrote the book, The Slight Edge. And also Darren Hardy wrote a book kind of similar called The Compound Effect. And in this philosophy that Jeff Olson wrote about, he talks about the simple little disciplines compounded over time, but in the act of doing them seem to make no difference in the act of doing them. So again, we can take obviously working out, right? Let's say I'm 30 pounds overweight. I hate my body. I really want to get a six pack. I don't have a six pack. When I take my shirt off at the pool, I'm like embarrassed, right? So let's say I've had it, right? I choose to succeed. I choose to go out there and crush it. And I get a workout in. I mean, I'm telling you, this workout that I do, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2 to 3 hour workout. I am sweating. I mean, my sweat is crying. I mean, it's like I want to get out of the body. I mean, I'm thinking pounds are being lost. Abs is going to come to show. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to look like a movie star. I'm going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone in their heyday. Man, I mean, this workout is amazing, right? And then what happens? I go home, take a shower. The next day I wake up and I'm probably looking even more overweight. How many of you ever felt like that? It's like, I just did a workout. I am so sore and I don't have abs yet. Well, you're not going to lose 30 pounds every single time you work out. That's crazy, right? But here's the thing that's interesting. If you are completely in shape right now, okay, you had a six pack, you had 10% body weight, or women I know need to have a little bit more than men. And if you had a temptation to eat a donut, okay, it's right in front of you. It's a Krispy Kreme donut. It's one of the best donuts out there. It's right from the store. It's hot. And if you ate that donut and you knew that you immediately would gain 30 pounds eating that one donut right now, right away, you would gain that 30 pounds in 5 minutes. Would you eat that donut no matter how good it was? And the answer is absolutely not. You would not eat that donut, right? Would you guys agree? Because if you knew that you would literally gain all that weight in 1 minute or 5 minutes, there's no way that you're going to eat that donut. And that's the problem with achievement, because everyone wants to have that six pack, but you can't achieve in 5 minutes. You can't achieve in 10 minutes. But over 10 years, over 5 years, you definitely can achieve. So if you're taking notes, I also want you to write this down, not just always focusing on the PowerPoint slides. Again, I have to go back and forth and let people in. But we do not experience immediate results from most of our choices. We do not experience immediate choices from most of our, we do not experience immediate results from most of our choices. So my question to you is, what choices today, what choices tomorrow, what choices in the past week, the past month have you made that you actually can start to see results? And the other thing is, what choices have you made in the past year, 2 years, that you're actually suffering the consequences from? And we've all been there. And I know that a lot of you have been there. And you also take these affiliate opportunities with the FICA program. You're taking the SCTC opportunities as well. And you're like, man, had I not just 5 months ago introduced a business, now, I haven't done that. Now I got to wait 5 more months. It's the simple little disciplines compounded over time. But in the act of doing them, it seems to make no difference in the act of doing them. Does that make sense? So what that means is like, okay, it doesn't really matter if I work out today. I'm still 30 pounds overweight. It doesn't really matter if I try to book an appointment today with a business owner because I haven't booked one yet. It's been 5 months. That's important for you guys to understand. And I know you can't see the slides because I have to go back and forth and let people in. But again, welcome to the new people that joined us. Now, we're here talking about the choice of success. And again, how many times have you heard success is a choice? But if we don't know what to do, how can we choose? So let's go to the next slide here. Achievement is doing things consistently over time. I said that. And your future is built on the choices that you make daily. Okay, would you guys agree? So the nature of choices. So let's kind of dive into this, because what I'm saying so far is cool, right? It's like, yeah, I get that, Todd. If I work out consistently, I'm going to get that six pack. If I actually do the work compounded over time, I get that. But you don't know my situation. I'm dealing with depression. I'm dealing with anxiety. I'm dealing with divorce. I'm dealing with this issue and that issue. And I totally understand that. And what I'm really excited is to dive into circumstances, because over the past 22 years, not only have I had circumstances and excuse, so to speak, but I've also worked in the mentorship field and the direct sales industry. I've been a public speaker, a coach for many, many years. And as you can imagine, the thousands of people that I've come in contact with that have said, man, I want success. I want to do this and I want to do that. But, here's the deal. I'm going to put this off on hold until this gets better in my life, or this gets better in my life. Does that make sense? And I know that we've all been there, and this is not a judgment thing because we've all faced that. But the thing is, we do not always experience immediate results from our choices. So that's why sometimes our circumstances get the best of us, because you think they need immediate attention. But the moment you put immediate attention on the circumstances that are challenging, there's no room for abundance. There's no room for growth. There's no room for you to focus on the absolute exciting things that life has to offer. At the end of the day, before we die, even if you're 98 years old and still living, you're going to have challenges. Would you guys agree? I mean, there's not anyone on this Zoom tonight that doesn't have a huge challenge. But every day we can make thousands of choices, and all of those choices have consequences, right? So this is incredible. When I realized this, and I continue to realize this, that the quality of my choices determines the quality of my life. That means I show up differently. And this is the ultimate accountability that I really want to mention to you. And I'm going to go back to screen, see if anyone I have to admit. Again, I'm multitasking, and as a man, that's hard. No offense to women. Women are the best at multitasking, not men, or at least not me. But the thing is, like, this is the ultimate accountability, because even if you don't have a coach or a mentor or someone like, kind of behind your back, if you will, and be like, okay, what's your accountability? What's the KPIs? If you realize, and don't get to the point where your quality of life is so bad because you made so many bad choices that you have to do it, or else you're in big trouble. It could be legally in trouble. It could be IRS in trouble. It could be, marriage in trouble, or relationship in trouble, or bankruptcy. We want to prevent that. But we also, even if we've been through those things, we also want to release the forgiveness. We also want to release the bitterness, because we don't want to dwell on the past mistakes that you've made. Because look, with these opportunities to get financial independence, to become even a millionaire, to make $100,000 a month, $10,000 a month in residual income, a lot of this stuff has to deal with energy, the energy of how you come off, the way that you speak, the way that you prepare, the way that you show up for yourself. Now, we've all heard it said, the inner me is the enemy. But that doesn't have to be true. I mean, I think it's been true for me many times because of reactions, because of bad choices and decisions. But the enemy can actually be your best friend because you can control you. And that's why it's always a you versus you battle in any opportunity that you do, in any business that you do. Does that make sense? Hope that resonates with people. So the foundation of this thing called the achievement system starts with making effective daily choices. Okay. And every week that we go on, you're going to learn systems, you're going to learn planners, how to plan your day before the day starts. You're going to learn all of these things that are going to make a massive impact on your life, personally and professionally. So understand that we do not naturally possess the capacity for consistent, effective choices. Okay. Now, let's dive into this because this is kind of crazy. So, what do you mean by this? We, you and me, as human beings, do not naturally possess the capacity for consistent, effective choices. So, what that means is instinctively, and I've heard this on many podcasts, I've heard this on many YouTube videos, our brain, our actual brain, the 3 pounds or whatever it is, and I think it's probably more than 3 pounds, but maybe 9 pounds, but whatever, how many pounds it is in our head, in our skull, actually really only cares about your safety. Okay. What do I mean by that? It cares about how you're safe. So, for instance, if you're filled with anxiety and worry, you're choosing anxiety and worry every day. Now, I'm not an expert, but what I can promise you behind closed doors is that I seek counsel. I seek wise counsel on my anxiety. I actually started recently, this is kind of a cool 1% tip, is I actually have a time in my day. I just started this actually today, where I'll spend 15 minutes as a scheduled time in my day to worry. I literally bring all my worries on a piece of paper at a certain time throughout the day. Okay. It's a specific time. I put it in my planner and I'll pour out all my worries on paper. And I'm also a Christian. I have faith. So I'll pray to God that he takes all those worries away. But what's interesting is when I really think about it, because our brain really wants to think about the worries, because our brain thinks if we think about the worries enough, that we're going to be safe. But the problem is thinking about more worries, you're now kind of almost drunk in the capacity to make wise choices. And this is a powerful tool because if we can still worry, but have it as a constructive thing, and a lot of times we hear the word boundaries, like I need to set boundaries. So for instance, like in a marriage or in a relationship, I mean, yeah, we should all have boundaries. Like somebody can't make fun of you. Like if you're dating someone, they shouldn't call you an effing idiot. Like if that happens, you should break up with them. That's abuse, right? And I get sometimes people lose their cool and they're very apologetic, but I'm just saying, like if you're called names or if you've had abusive relationship before, you're not gonna, do that again all over again. So you're setting up boundaries. But my question to you is, do you have personal boundaries within your worry, within your anxiety, within even your achievement system, what you're actually putting out to the world, your energy? Do you have boundaries? You say, look, my boundary, here's a good boundary. I'm not going to make a phone call to a business owner or to a 1099 if I don't feel amazing. Now, that doesn't mean you take 7 days off because you don't feel amazing. How you can feel amazing, as Tony Robbins always talks about, is get into a different state. If I get into a power state, that means if I'm sitting down, walk up, like walk around, put your chest out, jump around, maybe go for a walk for 20 minutes, but don't go for a walk for 2 days. Don't go for a walk for a week. Get into a different state, but do not ever call someone when you're feeling horrible. You can change your state in a second. Okay. It might take more, maybe it takes an hour. Maybe you just had a rough day. I mean, sometimes there are days where you just have to take the day off. Can I get an amen? Right? There are days where you're going to have to take a day off, and that's called Sunday. Hopefully take Sunday off, take a day of rest, make wise choices in that respect, have boundaries for that, take a day off, but man, crush it during the week, have a plan of action. And that's what the achievement system is all about. Now, challenges to effective choices. How can I get to making effective choices? So our brain interrupts status quo as security. Just like I said, this is the enemy. So yes, it's the you versus you battle, but you know what? The greatest single enemy that we all are going to face, and it's not the Democrats, it's not the Republicans, it's not Biden, it's not Trump. The biggest enemy, the biggest battle you're ever going to face is being average. Oh my gosh, can I get an amen? Because I hate average. Think about this. let's say you're dating, or let's say you're married. In fact, if you're married, a great marriage, I think you should continue to date your partner. Would you guys agree? So let's say you're either married or you're dating, and you go to your partner and you say, hey, babe, or hey, babe, or hey, beautiful, or whatever. Hey, I was thinking this Friday night, I want to take you to that restaurant, so and so. And your spouse is like, huh? That's like Chipotle. Let's say it's Chipotle. Chipotle? Really? I mean, I know we're on a budget, but really on a Friday night, that's date night is Chipotle? I mean, Chipotle, let's be honest, it's a subpar place. I mean, if I'm on a road trip and I have to eat it, I'll eat Chipotle. I personally can't stand it, but it's an average place, right? It's better than McDonald's, but not much. Okay. So let's just say, hey, let's go to, Chipotle. And then after Chipotle, let's go to the movies. But let's not see Bad Boys 4 that made over 105 million in the box office. Let's go see something that's no one ever heard of that got 2 stars. Is your spouse going to be like, wow, thank you for thinking about me, I am so appreciative? No, because it's average. Your spouse doesn't want to go to an average movie or an average place to eat on a Friday night. So status quo, I mean, think about your life. That's just going out on a Friday night. What about your life? Think about your creator. Think about when you die. Imagine if this is what heaven is. It's like, let's just say we all go to heaven, right? Whatever. I'm not trying to get religious, but you have to face your maker. And God is standing there and say, yo, he's like, he's not going to say, yo, but he's going to be like, okay, well, this is what you could have been. I remember seeing David Goggins, one of my mentors. I mean, he talks about this. He's like, what if heaven was like this? And you had like two people, right? You had one side of you that was full, reached your potential, made effective choices, did everything you could to be the best version of yourself every single day. You showed up, you added value to people, and you just did everything you possibly could in human capacity for your own potential. And wow, look at that person. And just imagine that really was you. Or imagine you watch that and then God says, yeah, I wish that was you. That was my plan for you. That's what I wanted for you. But this is actually what you did. And he just shows the reels of you eating, overeating, not working out, not giving, not tithing, not giving back to your community, not really showing up when you had opportunities and mentors and people that cared about you, not really caring about your relationships, having apathy, which is a natural human instinct common to us all, which we constantly seek our comfort zone, which nothing ever changes. This is what we have to do. So again, it's a choice. You have to decide tonight to be like, F this. I'm going to absolutely take advantage of these opportunities. We're going to talk about what the opportunities are in the last 30 minutes here. But this is where it starts. Effective change starts with making the choices. If you want to be successful making residual income, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $100,000 a month, you can't just maybe book a call, maybe get on these. You have to make a choice because instincts are fighting against you. Your natural human instincts are saying, no, you've never done this before. You failed in this, you failed in that. How dare you? Get a job, stay at your career, stay status quo. Now, here's the thing. I want to speak life into you. None of you on this call are status quo. Not one person on this call is status quo. Every single one of you are amazing. Every single one of you. And I'm not just saying it. I'm not the guy that's just like, oh, guys, you're amazing. You guys are all awesome. No, there are so many people that are booking appointments with our firm. Okay. There are so many people that are booking appointments with tens of thousands of employees on this call today. I'm proud of you. You're showing up. Imagine, or not imagine, but remember a couple of months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, we had hundreds of people on this call. I knew it was going to simmer down. I'm glad. I don't want hundreds and hundreds of non-productive people on a call. I want to impact the 37 to 38 people on this call and be like, you guys are winners. Let's go attack this week. Let's go show up for our families this week. Let's do better. Even when you think you've had a hard day, don't quit until you make 5 more contacts. Don't sit down until you make 5 more DMs. Even if you think you've put in the work, go get 5 more DMs again. Go get 5 more push-ups, 10 more push-ups. Even if you had the worst, not the worst, but the best workout, but it was the hardest, go do 5 more push-ups, 5 more squats, do more. Because it's training the mind differently than you've already trained it, or even natural human instinct is already. So a systematic approach to achievement is how I've always approached this, because there has to be systems. Now, you can say from this call, Todd, that was amazing. I'm so motivated. Oh my gosh, how many people I've said, oh, I've said this to me. I needed to hear that today. Blah, blah, blah. Duh. Of course you needed to hear it today. We all need to hear this today. But don't be that person that tomorrow you're back to unmotivatable. I mean, there's something, kind of like a pyramid. Like if you imagine a pyramid, 60% on the bottom of the base of the pyramid are really, this is human behavior, are unmotivatable. 60% or something crazy like that. I forget the exact numbers, but it's around the most people you're going to meet are going to be unmotivatable. And they have to actually stand in front of God one day and get judged on that, because that's so bad. It's disgusting. It's horrible. I mean, how can someone be unmotivated? I mean, I get 1 day or 1 hour, but your whole life, man, that sucks. But then the next level is motivatable. Okay, so that's cool. That's the person that's on that. Oh, man, that was a good call, man. I think it's like 37%. So what are we at now? 60, 70, 87%? Okay, 37% are motivatable. Oh, man, I think I might do this. I think this is good. Wow, I really like the presentation tonight. I think I might try. Trying is the intention to effing fail. Do not try. Try. Okay, if you're any Star Wars fan, Yoda said do. You got to do, right? You got to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, when no one's watching. Of course you're, gonna not feel like doing it. That's what success is doing the things you don't want to do, compounded over time, where you actually start to get more comfortable doing the things that you don't want to do. Okay, listen, I'd rather go have a cocktail right now and a tequila at my favorite restaurant than sometimes do these Zooms. I'll be honest, or sometimes call a business owner. But you know what? How I reframed is like, I can't wait to go to my favorite restaurant to have that margarita at True Food, because it's kind of healthy, and have that healthy meal. But I'm going to earn it. I'm going to earn it this week. I'm going to plan that, but I'm going to earn it. I'm going to feel even better because I'm not going to be depressed eating my favorite food, because I knew that I worked hard for the week. Does that make sense? So to achieve, you must manage your process of making effective choices intentionally and systematically. This bypasses natural instincts that undermine success, okay? So qualifying factors of achievement: commitment to a goal, courage to persevere, having the open-mindedness, and accountability for your actions, right? So these are the 4 things. It's like, okay, Todd, what are the 4 things, right? Here they are. You got to be committed to your goal. Are you committed? Do you have a burning desire to achieve something specific? I believe a lot of you do. You have to have a burning desire, right? Hold on 1 second, the slides. You've got to say, I want this. Okay, why do you want it? Well, because Todd, I'm sick of being broke. I'm sick of having circumstances. I'm sick of not having enough money to write these checks that I need to write. I'm sick of not being on vacation. I'm sick of seeing people on Instagram that I know, my own family, that's traveling the country or traveling the world, and I'm stuck, and I'm at this job, and I don't have residual income, and I'm 54 years old, and I don't even have a financial portfolio at all. Well, you know what? Are you committed to this goal? Are you really committed? Do you have a burning desire to achieve something specific? Okay, number 2, courage to persevere. Are you willing to follow a system in developing an enhanced level of emotional courage? See, that's what I love about achievement, because we're going to go through, not today, but there's so much content that I'm going to bring every Monday, and then we'll have guest speakers as well, especially for the SCTC and the FICA opportunity at the end, of each of these programs here. And we want to grow this. We want you to keep kind of like, oh, that was a great last week, and I'm going to keep learning more and more every week. But there's going to be a whole thing on emotional courage, right? Emotional intelligence. Because I believe the single thing that's holding most of us back is our feelings. I don't feel like it. I'm not in a good mood today. I'm going to get to that tomorrow when I feel better. You got to really sometimes say, F my feelings, because your feelings don't matter. It really don't. If you have a goal, of course, there's going to be some days you don't want to do it. I mean, take marriage. There's going to be some days you don't want to be with your spouse. You're with a boyfriend or girlfriend. There's going to be some days that he or she annoys the heck out of you and you want to break up with them. But long term, you don't want to break up with them because you love them and you want to work on it. But you know what? There's times you don't feel like being around them. Okay, let's be honest. Sometimes, let's be honest, you don't feel like being a mom or dad, for an hour or a day because you're so sick of your kids. So you're like, oh man, take them, right? I'm not saying you should feel that way, right? But let's be honest, like some days they annoy you and you're just like, oh man, I don't feel like dealing with my kids today. That's okay, but you have to get over that. You have to understand emotional intelligence and how that works. That means the courage to persevere. Open-mindedness. What this means is, am I willing to be coached without being defensive? This is a huge one for most people because we have obviously ego, right? Ego stands for edging God out. The reason that God gave us an ego, though, I mean, ego could be healthy because it can be healthy in a way that you have self-confidence. You're building self-confidence. You have, perseverance. Courage is also building your self-confidence. But ego, the bad ego, is like, what does he know? What does she know? The biggest thing about coaching too is I'm not saying everyone in the world has a right to coach you. Okay. Obviously, like even now, I don't have that right unless you give me permission. Like if you're like, and of course you did by showing up tonight, but like I always like asking people, hey, can I have your permission to coach you? And when they say yes, then I can really be real. But if someone's already defensive, especially if you go to like a therapist and you don't want to be there, it's just hard to really work with those people. They're not open-minded, they're not growth-minded, and they have such a hard time like wanting to grow, right? They're hard and even hard-hearted, right? And we don't want to be like that. When you really understand that you need help and asking for help is totally safe, that you're able to ask for help here. We want to help you. We want to help you grow. That's what this is all about. And then lastly, accountable for your actions. Will I choose to be accountable for my effective actions? Now, I want to just say real quick, accountability is not a swear word. It's not a four-letter word. Accountability is actually one of the greatest motivators in life. When you have accountability, let's say with your pastor, let's say you were doing something you shouldn't have done. Okay. And we've all been there. And your pastor didn't condemn you, but maybe you're Catholic and maybe you saw your priest and you had to, give kind of a take on what you did. But just by doing that, you're like, you know what? That was embarrassing. I shared something I did wrong with a priest or your pastor, whatever, or your, whatever religious leader you look up to. And, just saying it out loud in front of somebody, like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. I'm not going to, I'm good. I think I'm going to stop doing that. That's accountability. So even coming to like even me on a one-on-one coaching session, you're just like, hey man, like I'm not showing up. I want to show up better. And you're kind of sharing with me like not only your challenges, but maybe your embarrassment of like, I haven't really shown up. Like I haven't really chosen to go crush it for my family. And you might think you're going to get judged. Well, we're not here to judge you, but we're here to say, okay, cool. Now, what does that look like though, when you actually pivot from that? What does that look like when you actually change your circumstances or change, the actions so that your circumstances do change? So being accountable for your actions is super, super, super important, right? So I'm going to get to my favorite part of today. So we'll see that in a second, but you are the CEO of your life. You are responsible for your own life. I want you to really take that in right now. Are you really responsible right now? Are you taking full ownership of any result that you haven't gotten tonight or up until this point? I hope you do, because it's so important to make that decision. Now, your life today represents the cumulative impact of your choices. So your future will represent the sum of your choices, right? So what I want to kind of go over is this. You are responsible for your results. No one else can make the choices that you make or must make in your life. I want to repeat that one more time. No one else can make the choices that you must make for your life. Your life today, again, represents the cumulative impact of your choices, right? So you cannot change the past, but you can dramatically impact your future. So except in extreme cases, circumstances have played a very small role in your current life position. This is Real Talk 101. Say that again, Todd. I said, except in extreme cases, circumstances have played a very, very, very small role in your current life position. I know this is a hard concept for some to accept, but I found it to be true. It's a hard concept for me to accept sometimes. So you mean the reason I'm broke right now is not because of my divorce? Do you mean the reason I don't have the money I have is not because that this happened in my life? Okay. The truth is that culture, environment, and circumstances can dictate your future. So yeah, some of that's true. Some of it has dictated certain things, but only if you choose to allow it. And this is the key. Yes or no, whether or not it has impacted you in your circumstances, sure. But again, moving forward after this call tonight, only you can choose to allow it to affect you. So it's your choice to say, this situation, This circumstance is going to allow me to not get back on my feet again. This circumstance is not going to allow me to go crush it in this business opportunity, whatever it is. But the power is in you. So I think that's something that I appreciate, because we have the power, right? So it's still your choice. So kind of in conclusion, I'll go back here. So wrapping this up, some believe, now I'm going to say this statement, and this is going to blow some of you away, I think in a positive way. But some believe that if circumstances were perfect, they would be able to achieve. How many of you maybe kind of go on a date and be like, man, if his life was just perfect, if he or she had it all together right now, what a perfect spouse this would make. Listen, I got news for you. There's not a lot of people I've ever met in my lifetime that are perfect. There's not a lot of people that I've ever met that have perfect circumstances, that nothing's wrong. Now, there's some people that have made a lot of wise choices. They don't have a lot of drama. And those are people we're attracted to. I'm not talking about physically only. I'm talking about just, we want to be in their space. We want to be in their energy. Also, hey, what's interesting about attraction is because we're human, we actually might be attracted even more to the drama queen, or someone that always has an issue and all they do is complain. Because you might say, well, my life isn't as bad as that person. That's why People Magazine and Us Weekly, the National Enquirer are always there in front of CVS. They're always in front at the checkout, at the grocery store, because people love it. People love hearing Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are headed for divorce. Oh, I knew it. Oh, that jerk, Ben Affleck. Oh, J-Lo, what is this, her fifth marriage? What a loser. That's why it's in the news. At the end of the day, if you really cared about, I would feel more bad for them. I would be like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't divorce. I hope they can work it out, right? Instead of, oh, what a bunch of celebrity losers. Oh, but that's what people say. That it's just, some people hate Trump and they don't even know why they hate him. Some people hate Biden and they don't even know why they hate him. It's just crazy. Or some people hate God and they don't even know why they hate God. Okay, so listen, we're all here together. We want you to make the wisest choices that you possibly can make. So remember, others wait for the right circumstances to come along. My experience with high achievers, because we want to all be high achievers, it proves the opposite. If you want to be a high achiever, you got, like, look at Olympic athletes, look at athletes, look at, tens, look at people that have it together. Like, they choose to overcome their obstacle. They choose to be better for themselves. They are in pure competition with themselves, you versus you, right? So we really want to, before we get into a little bit more of the training tonight, we got about 22 minutes left. We want to talk about, obviously, the business side of it, kind of our partners and what we're doing specifically. But this is the core of how you get up, how you show up, and how you attack business, and also your personal life. So in order to better support you, you can go ahead and use your phone. So we have a Facebook community that's all free. We're going to continue to post in there. We're going to continue to build. You guys can absolutely be a part of it. You just scan there. I'm going to be writing a weekly newsletter for not just you all, but for my followers every single week starting next Monday. Go ahead and scan that, and you can sign up with your email. And then we also have a coaching program at the highest level that 22 of you are already a part of. And I'm gonna be honest. The people that are getting the most results are the ones that are being coached, the ones that are actually in this thing 100%. Now, it might have taken a little bit longer, but they're actually showing up more. They're staying the course. They have their CRM. They have their exposures. They're actually doing the do. They're the ones that booking the majority of appointments are coming from these people. So you can scan that, find a little bit more about that as well. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? So I'm happy that you guys stayed for this. Now, what I like to do is I like to transition it into, if I could do this right, let's see here. Boom. Okay. So I would like to just open up, I'm going to show you guys something else, but I'd like to just open it up to any questions about anything real quick about what I said before we go into the FICA program and the SACT. Does anyone have any specific questions about anything we just said and want to ask? You can just unmute yourself and just ask. Cool. Awesome. No questions? No further questions, Your Honor? Okay, great. All right, so here's what I want to do. Now let's transition. Okay, now we took all that information. We're all excited. We got our plan. We got a planner. We're like, okay, I want to reach out to 5 business owners a day. I want to also, who are the 1099s that I want to reach out to for the SETC program, or maybe you pick one or the other. Maybe you're doing both. I don't know. But let's kind of gravitate towards this. Let's talk about this right here. Okay. So you can scan that right here to get scripts for our partner. I know a lot of you might be working with Innovative Health. Actually, we've really been working a lot with the T group. Again, you can work with both. The reason many months ago, we actually have a second partner is because 9 out of the 50 states were closed with Innovative Health. So we obviously wanted to make sure that we are helping those 9 states. But the more that we actually looked into the program, we were super impressed with how compliant they were. And to be honest with you, we've already signed up Mercedes in Alabama, which is not a dealership, but it's actually the headquarters. I've actually been there a few times, believe it or not, in Alabama. And then also Rivian, the electric car company, is also signed up. NYPD is one of our clients as well. We're working right now with Emory University that we're signing up. I mean, we're crushing it. We got so many appointments that our leaders are booking. So I want to kind of just present this with you. So what's interesting about this is I want you guys to put this in perspective. So how many of you come from like a network marketing background? Okay, just as an example, because that's my background. So in 2004, after I worked for John Maxwell, I moved to San Diego, California. I started a Bible church with a guy named Josh Hotzenpeller, who is now a CEO of a major company right now and also currently a pastor still, and a guy named Sean, who's still pastoring. So I sat there in a futon because I lived on a futon for a while in San Diego, and I didn't have any money. So I was a brand new guy. I was starting a church. That was my calling in ministry. I think I had $500 to my name. And then I was introduced to this thing called prepaid legal shield. And I went from the bottom to the top in 9 years. And the reason I share this is because, you know, I had that background of just understanding residual income. But the problem was it was kind of a lie. And let me kind of tell you one of the biggest lies. I was told, and Legal Shield's a great company, by the way. It's still around today after 50 years, and they do have residual, but it took 10 years to get residual because there's chargebacks, okay? There's a bunch of stuff you got to go through. Then I did a skincare company, and then I did an incredible company called Isogenics, and then I retired in 2019 to do affiliate marketing, which I do today. So the whole point of that is in this industry, they really promote residual income. The problem is you got to really work your tail off. You got to really have like a bunch of people, thousands and thousands of people. Now, you also look at real estate. Okay, so let's transition to real estate. So if you're a real estate agent and you're the best in the world, let's say, I mean, you're selling $1 million homes at hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever. I'm not talking about the people in New York City. Okay, I'm talking about the average, really good real estate. Okay, not average, but the average kind of household income around the country. Well, the problem with real estate is you're unemployed until your next sale. So there is no residual income. And even if you're doing Airbnbs, let's face it, Airbnb is not that good. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that promote Airbnb. It's a nightmare. I mean, you got to buy a house, you got to put 20% down. Then you have to make sure you have all these people coming and going in your house to make what, a couple thousand or less a month after all of your expenses. Is it really worth it? Is it Airbnb really worth it? I mean, it's cool if like you own both and you kind of do it if you're not there like a snowbird. But like, do you really want to build a business on Airbnb? I mean, I don't. It's so legal. There's so many like stuff that you have to do it. And maybe you mastered it. Maybe you love it. Okay. And great. More power to you. But my whole point is if you take all the industries in the country, let's talk about, FICA program. Okay. The T group, the FICA program, our downtown Manhattan firm, 2013, or also Encompassing Health, because again, both companies are great. So you have to understand, like, let's say you brought to the table an appointment. You booked an appointment with the business owner and you made positive choices, everything that I said in the beginning of this, and you approach them. And let's say it took 5 months or 6 months or 7 months. Let's say it's 1,000 employees, right? You make $5 per employee and you make $2 in an override. So you made $5,000. It took you 5 months or 6 months or 7 months. And let's just say that's all you did. You just booked one appointment. You're lucky number one. It closed, more power to you. In my opinion, though, just for your statistics and data, I believe you got to book 10 appointments to get at least 2. It's just 80%, 20% rule, the 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. It is what it is. But let's just say you just booked one and you just sat around for 5 months. Okay, it closed. Now you're making $5,000 a month. So going back to my story, ladies and gentlemen, I started network marketing in October of 2024. I'm sorry, 2004. I did not get paid from October, November, December, January, February, and March. March was my first recruit. I did not know what I was doing. I screwed it all up. And finally, I started getting paid. Well, it took me until August that year. So it took me less than a year to start making $10,000 a month. Okay. And something just happened. I stuck in it. Boom. I'm making $10,000 a month. I was a server and I quit my job on the spot as soon as I actually hit the top position, never looked back since. So $10,000 a month in August. I started in October. So we're talking about almost a year. It wasn't really residual income, and it wasn't guaranteed, like not guaranteed, I hate that word, but every single month, right? It wasn't like, like this. Okay, well, that's more than 5 months. So if it took you 5 months to book one appointment, they do all the work for you. You had to do maybe a couple of follow-ups. Now you're making $5,000 a month. But that's month after month, year after year for years to come. So what if you got another one and another one and another one and another one? What if you started making $10,000 a month in residual income every month? What if you started making $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $100,000 a month? We got people on this call that are closing in on 22,000, 37,000, 17,000, 10,000, 5,000, 4,500, 60,000, 50,000, 50, 85, 72. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's 72 employees or 1,000. If you're booking that, well, this is how you do it. A lot of them are like, well, I'm so nervous. Okay. And I get it. You're nervous. Oh, you poor baby. You're nervous. Oh, but, think about this. Let me, again, put it into perspective because matters of the heart. What do we all love? Rom-coms. We all love a good love story, right? So again, let's go back to dating. So think about your husband, your wife, if you're married, or if you're currently single, maybe this is your issue. This is maybe why you're single, because you're so scared to ask the girl out. Hey, Emily. Hey, Bob. I got a quick question for you. What's that, Bob? Are you currently single? Yes, I am. Hey, I am too. You want to grab a drink? Oh my gosh, I just gave you guys the formula on how you go on a date. Oh my God, I'm a genius. Pay me money now. But that's literally how simple. If you really don't care about all the games, that's how you ask a girl out. Okay. Hey, are you single? Yes, I am. Cool. So am I. I think you're great. I'd love to get to know you more. Can I take you out for a drink? Or can I grab a coffee with you? And the thing is, you don't want to ask someone out on a dinner date. That's second date. Okay. And I'm not some expert either, but this is just logical stuff. This is practical stuff. What's a bad thing? Hey, can I DM you on Instagram? Oh yeah. What's your Instagram? I'm going to DM you. Okay. Well, I got to go now. And then you DM them like 18 messages. It was great to meet you. Oh my gosh. Are you free tomorrow? Maybe next week. Oh, I'm free, but hey, run from away from that nervous energy. So again, in dating, it's nervous energy, but then going into business, what do you think the business owner is going to think? Yeah, you're not going to date them, obviously, but it's the same energy. It's like nobody wants to do business with someone who's like, I don't know what I'm doing. No, it's like, hey, John, listen, I got a quick question for you. How many employees are currently on your team? I know it's random, but how many employees? I don't know, 100? I want to run some numbers real quick. I think you might be losing at least, let's see, 700 times, I think about $70,000 a year. I don't know if you know that. Quite surprising, right? Well, what do you mean? Well, I recently discovered this incredible thing, okay, specifically for U.S. business owners like yourself with 20 or more full-time employees like you have. So you have 70. So back in 1978, Congress passed a law with a huge economic incentive for businesses owners like you long-term. Plus, it offers some incredible extra health benefits for your employees on top of what they already have. Now, listen, I'm just reading, but I'm not reading from a script in real life. I already have this memorized. So what I would do is this is what I would do. Hey, Bob, what's going on, man? How are you? Good, Todd. Hey, listen, kind of a random question for you. What's that, Todd? How many recurrent W-2 employees do you have right now, Bob? Oh, I got 70. Oh, really? Or let's just say 100. Easy number. I have 100. Oh, cool. You know what? I'm going to run a quick number here. So my calculations, I think you might be losing $70,000 a year. I don't know if you know that. Do you? No. What are you talking about? Okay. So for the past couple of months, I've really educated myself on this whole Section 125 and this FICA tax program and what really the IRS says you can do and what you can't do. So I've recently partnered with an incredible firm in downtown Manhattan that they have over 10,000 companies underneath them already as far as clients are concerned, including Mercedes, including Rivian, including the NYPD. And literally not even 1% of business owners even know this program even exists. Now, Bob, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's my passion. My passion is recruiting, retention, and revenue. Do you see how I just paused there? So what do you think Bob's going to say to me? He's like, duh. I literally just spoke his love language. If you ever read the 5 love languages, it's like, acts of kindness or affirmation, words of affirmation. This is a business owner's love language. So why would you not speak love languages to a business owner? So let me repeat, this is my passion, Bob, to be honest with you. I love helping entrepreneurs and business owners like yourself really increase your recruiting, help the current people you have retain and stay with you, and then help you personally in revenue every single year without any added cost or upfront cost added to you. Does that make sense? So that's why I partner with an unbelievable firm that has companies like Mercedes of Alabama, Rivian, the electric car company, NYPD, tons of universities, municipalities, unions. Here's the deal. I'm not a licensed professional, like obviously, duh, right? But I can hook you up. See, this is real talk. This is me being a human effing being. I'm not saying, here's the kicker. Your employees can get supplemental health insurance with no extra work on your end. Think, no copay on prescriptions. Hello? Hello, Bob? Hello? Oh, he hung up on me. Because you're speaking, I mean, memorize this. So, as an actor myself, like, let's say this is the script, and it's hard because acting, you do have to stick to the script, but at least get the gist, right? At least get what you're going to say. But I like my way better. Would you guys agree? It's like, yo, like, I want to hook you up. Like, I want to help you. But look, I can't say too much. It's actually, it's a regulated industry. I want to introduce you to our licensed professionals, our C-suite people. Very important you meet the C-suite because you are C-suite. You're amazing. I want to only introduce you to the owners and the C-suite staff of this amazing firm in downtown Manhattan. How does that sound for you? Oh, sounds great. Cool. Are you available today or tomorrow? Actually, you're probably going to say tomorrow. I got times right now. I got a 2 o'clock tomorrow, and I got a 2:30, or I got a 3. Actually, only just give them 2 choices. That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what did I just do? I just showed you how to become a freaking millionaire. I just showed you, and you still are going to say, well, I'm nervous. Okay, that's because you're not practicing. Let's go back. Okay, here we go. Okay, again, it's so simple, right? Again, it took me a little while to learn. Okay, I get it. You want to learn. Ring, ring. Hey, Bill, what's going on? Todd Cahill here. Hey, listen, I just have a second. I'm about to step out the door. Do you have a quick moment? Yes, I do, Todd. I have a quick random question for you. How many W-2 employees do you currently have? He's going to be like, well, why is he asking me this? 100. Okay, perfect. Let me just kind of do the math on this. Okay, so I think you might be losing like $70,000 to $80,000 a year. Well, what do you mean? Well, here's the deal. I recently found out a couple months ago, because I have a passion for helping business owners like yourself with retention, revenue, and recruiting, that there are some programs out there that the IRS really allows you and does not allow you. What's good about what I found in my research is a firm that I'm now working with that has Rivian, Mercedes, the NYPD, to name a few. They have over 10,000 clients of companies like yourself in America. They actually are going to help you in these 3 areas. In fact, I'd love to book a call with you right now, and you can talk to a licensed professional, because we can save you about $700 a year per employee without any additional cost out of your pocket, and then offer 19 additional health benefits to your people. They're going to love it. And I don't want to get into all the details, but I'll give you a quick thing. Think about no copay on prescriptions for them, mental health support services, short-term disability, accident coverage, term life insurance, even if they don't currently have life insurance and they have issues, okay? Critical illness coverage, just a host of wellness benefits, et cetera, et cetera. So they're going to walk you through everything. It's going to boost your retention, improve recruiting, and increase revenue. Does that sound good? Listen, I am so blown away by this program. I have already booked so many business owners like yourself, and they're blown away. I would definitely advise you, bring your staff if you have a staff. It's a Google Meetup. Let me book it now. I got times tomorrow at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, which works best for you. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at this. See, this is in my face while I'm speaking to them over the phone. But it's not like, again, we don't want to be like, hey, John, I've got a quick question for you. How many employees are currently on your team? I want to run some numbers real quick. Dot, dot, dot. After crunching the numbers, it seems like you could potentially be missing out on X amount of money each year. Haha, quite surprising. It isn't. Ha ha ha. Okay, you gotta really just be cool, man. Like just be like Matthew McConaughey, man. Come on, man. Just be chill. Smoke a doobie, smoke a doobie, whatever, right? You gotta be like Matthew McConaughey. You gotta be cool, man. You gotta just be chill. Like you're very professional, but you're not showing up nervous. You're not being weird. You're actually just connecting with your audience. And I think that's what a lot of you are missing in this opportunity. So again, it's like when I approach you, I'll kind of wrap up with this. And by the way, SETC, easy stuff, guys. Chartered Credit Union is the bank that's paying Wi-Fi money, and then we pay out. Anything you need on that, you can just personally reach out to me. It's actually super simple, but I can give you any updates on that. But since we're running out of time, going back to the T group, this is just my understanding, my perspective. I think a lot of you can nail the script. You guys can nail it. You guys can do this. You guys can be cool, calm, collected. Honestly, I don't think this is the problem. Honestly, you might say, well, what do you mean? I haven't booked an appointment yet. Yeah, I get it. And I believe you can sound like me. I believe you can sound like yourself in the best way. What do you think the problem is? Well, the problem is this. Okay. The problem is this. This right here. That's the problem. The problem is you're not choosing to do it. The problem is as soon as you get a no, you get rejected, you're like, I'm out, or I'm going to put this on hold. That's the problem. You're not making, or you're not doing anything. You're not planning the day before the day starts. You're not making wise choices. You're not setting a foundation of freedom, of achievement system. You're not planning your day before the day starts. You're not choosing to fight who you are now so that you can become the person you really want to be, you versus you. Buy my book, read it, take action. That's what this is. That's why the book still is relevant more than ever 5 years after it came out. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, it's all about this. Not what do I say? How do I say it better? Look, your courage to persevere, your commitment to a goal, your open-mindedness, all of this is what you're going to get to win. Do you understand? Like this crap, okay? Like hold on. X out of this, okay? This crap, I mean, this is not this. I mean, yeah, you still need to practice. And hey, Gary, what's going on? I got a quick question for you. Hey, random question. How many employees do you have? See how I'm showing up? Hey, Gary, what's going on? Todd Cahill here. I might have the worst morning though. I got to have my morning routine. I got to work out first. I got to look at my planner. I got to read my 10 pages a day of a good book before I'm going to call Gary. I'm not calling Gary at 7 a.m. and it's still in the robe and I don't even feel like being up. I'm not going to call Gary then. I'm not going to look at my phone. In fact, my routine is not till noon. I don't make a call. I don't talk to a client until really 12 to 8, Monday through Thursday. Because in the morning, I do my routine. I do my quiet time. I work out. I shower. I have good breakfast. I eat my breakfast right before noon. But man, I'm in war on Mondays from 12 to 9. Nobody messes with me on Mondays, 12 to 9. I'm in war. After this, I'm going to take a breather. I'll probably go do my second workout, hang out, call, whatever I got to do, right? But I'm just saying, Mondays, you don't mess with me on Mondays, bro. 12 to 9, you don't mess with me. But in the morning, it's my time. And then I'm going to feel so accomplished, but that's going to increase the momentum of the week. Now, a lot of you have kids. I get that, but I'm not all working 9 straight hours. I'm still talking to my family. My kids are off school. I mean, it's not like I'm just all about it and I ignore everybody, but it is a focused energy for 9 straight hours, okay, on Monday, okay, in this business. Now, some of you only can put an hour on Mondays, 2 hours. Who cares? Great. Just do what you got to do. But make sure the hour counts. Make sure it's a power hour. Make sure you're getting the most out of it and you're setting the standard. You're actually setting the standard of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make sure that you understand, like, this is the time. This is the time. We are here to absolutely, you see 5 people already left. See, again, leaving a Zoom after the hour's up, it's unbelievable, right? People can't even stay for now. You guys can stay. So if you need these leads, if you need the lead generation here, if you want to hit me up about it, I can give you the Google Docs about this. Absolutely can share anything with you that you need. I'm here to help you book appointments. I'm here to coach you. I highly recommend you look into Vase. We have 22 people on this call that are already in it. They're the ones, 98% to 99% of all the people that are booking appointments are the clients from base. Everyone else is kind of like, well, I'll get around to it. And that's the problem, because they're free to their own devices. There's no accountability. And you definitely could rock it with all. Imagine this straight for 6 months. Imagine getting this kind of help, mentorship, meeting a community, being a part of something bigger than yourself, going to live events. It's amazing. So anyway, hit me up on that. But I appreciate it. And make sure that you do join our community. I'm just going to leave this up real quick again. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Make sure you join our community here. So we got a Facebook community, our weekly newsletter, and of course, a little bit more on the base program is right there as well. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for being on tonight. It's been a pleasure of mine. I want to keep it respectful, right on the hour. Thank you so much for being on, and hopefully you got something out of this tonight. Thank you so much.